Hello, we are the SpaceX fans and welcome to the SpaceX Show, the place where you can stay up to date with everything SpaceX. Today we have quite a bit of SpaceX related news to take a look at, starting with a recent Falcon 9 launch. The Turksat 5A satellite lifted off on Thursday evening or Friday morning depending on your time zone to kickstart SpaceX's launches this year.
Ignition.
The booster used for the mission, B-1060, flying for the fourth time, then landed successfully on the drone ship. Just read the instructions. Something interesting to also mention, this was SpaceX's 50th flight of a previously flown booster.
Looks like we have a good landing on the drone ship as well. This is SpaceX's 71st successful first stage recovery. This particular booster's fourth successful recovery.
There are a couple of tweets to look at from reporter Christian Davenport about the Crew 1 mission. His first tweet says, "NASA tells me the agency is looking at potentially extending the Crew 1 time on the ISS in order to ensure continued US presence. Dates still in flux, but if Crew 2 were to launch in April and Crew 1 were to come home in May, that would not leave much room in the schedule." Then he also tweeted, if there's a launch delay, that could make things real tight. As a result, NASA is investigating several activities that would provide us with more margin for the handover. NASA says including extending Crew 1, which would be a real test for Crew Dragon. The first SpaceX rideshare mission in which dozens of small satellites will be launched together was expected this coming week. However, there has been a slight mishap with integration of some of the satellites. Two of the DARPA satellites scheduled to be launched on this mission were damaged at SpaceX's payload processing facility. The launch has now been delayed by a whole week by the looks of it. Whether the delay is related, I'm not sure. Space News posted another article with a contract which SpaceX was awarded previously but had to be paused due to a dispute from other companies. The article says, following a series of contract protests, the Space Development Agency again awarded SpaceX a $149 million contract and L3Harris a $193.5 million contract to each build 4 satellites to detect and track ballistic and hypersonic missiles. As we saw last episode, tomorrow we can hopefully expect the departure of the Dragon 2 cargo capsule which flew the CRS-21 mission. There is yet another article from Space News about the FCC granting SpaceX permission for a polar launch of Starlink satellites. It says the FCC will allow SpaceX to launch 10 Starlink satellites into polar orbit on an upcoming mission, but defer the decision on a much broader modification of SpaceX's license. Looking at some Boca Chica bits, as always, work is continuing around the orbital launchpad area. On Friday, Tankzilla was rolled back to the production area. Concrete work has been going on at the entrance to the construction yard. At the old gas well lot area, a new structure has been spotted. I want to share some fun info. Everyday Astronaut tweeted about the restaurant area and how cool it is with the Mark 1 flaps. He thought it was a tiki bar. Elon Musk responded and said that's actually our restaurant, but SpaceX is building a futuristic bar at the top of the high bay with 360-degree windows and a glass floor looking down on the rocket factory. In response, he was asked, really, how does one get to this bar when complete? Musk responded with, catapult high into the air and land on the roof with a base jumping parachute, the only way to travel. He was also asked, elevator, and Musk said that too. Tim Dodd also asked who it would be available to, asking probably employees and guests only, right? Musk responded and said, I super support public spaces around our production and launch sites wherever it can be done safely and securely. When COVID passes, we'll open up our restaurant to the public and figure out ways to allow limited access to the high bar. Adding to it with, was also thinking that SpaceX Boca should hold fun parties and give tours for the community from time to time. Taking a look at another tweet, somebody asked Musk, would it be possible to build a self-contained Saboteur Plant inside of a Starship so you don't need astronauts to set them up? So basically like a permanent gas station on Mars and have multiple landings for redundancy. Elon Musk responded and said yes, that would be the best way to do it. A large solar field or reactor is needed for power and then some ice mining droids or long maneuvering drills are needed for the H2O. These are probably the trickier bits. A new Raptor engine was delivered. This is serial number 45. The second prototype to fly to 150 meters, SN6, has been chopped up and is now pretty much just an aft section. On Wednesday, SpaceX performed the first static fire test of the SN9 vehicle. We were expecting another static fire on Friday, but it appeared to have been aborted. Looking at the Cameron County website, some new dates have been posted for road and beach closures for testing. There's tomorrow, Monday 11th, Tuesday 12th and Wednesday 13th. I'm thinking that tomorrow we can expect a second static fire and Tuesday they may attempt to fly this prototype. Taking a quick look at the temporary flight restrictions posted by the FAA, there are some dates for this coming week. There is a TFR posted for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Whilst the altitude is stated as unlimited, I think it's unlikely we'll see anything but a 12.5km flight. SN10 is now standing in the high bay without the crane attached. SN15's common dome section was seen moved outside with lead-ins. The section was also moved into the mid-bay, so the section in the mid-bay I thought was SN12 is actually SN15. Here's a quick view of SN11 with SN15 next to it. Final thing for this video, thanks to Brendan Lewis again, is an updated status diagram for the Starship and Super Heavy prototypes. Quite a lot has been done to progress the prototypes recently. It goes without saying, but these updates wouldn't be possible without Mary or Boca Chica gal going out every day to film this stuff, so thank you. Also, a thank you to the NASA spaceflight team working behind the scenes on the videos, live streams and other great space content. That's it for this episode of the SpaceX Show. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. If you want to stay updated with SpaceX info, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified when I upload. Thanks for watching and have a great day.